Somebody's really armed to the teeth. This is not one person.
Breaking news, a deadly night in Dallas. At least 2 snipers opened fire on police. 5 officers are dead and 6 more are wounded. 3 suspects in custody and a 4th one now dead.
We're waiting for the suspects to break and let us know what they're doing.
The focus now is on motive and the safety of this city. Police are trying to get to the bottom of how and why their colleagues were gunned down.
It all started at a peaceful protest against police brutality in downtown Dallas. Now officers tasked with keeping the peace are waking up this morning trying to keep it together. Good morning, Michiana. I'm Drew Gardner.
And I'm Emily Evans. ABC 57 has breaking team coverage this morning. South Bend police are reacting, but first, Stephanie Ramos has the latest on this investigation. Stephanie?
As civil protests took place across the country over the shooting deaths of 2 black men by police officers, a protest in Dallas quickly turned into chaos, and it's not over with police still on the scene. A barrage of gunshots erupting through downtown Dallas, causing panic and chaos across the city. Police trying to clear the area.
We had people jumping over the fences. Cops start telling everyone to go back.
Cops rushing in to help fellow officers gunned down by flying bullets.
This is a hot zone.
Police say at least 2 snipers positioned themselves in elevated areas during protests against police brutality, ambushing 11 police officers. At least 5 of those officers were killed.
Some shot in the back. We believe that these suspects were positioning themselves in a way to triangulate on these officers from 2 different perches in garages in the downtown area.
The shooters planned, police say, to injure and kill as many law enforcement officers as they could.
We'll ask for your prayers for these families, and we ask that you give our officers strength to catch these suspects.
A massive manhunt underway. Police surrounding this parking garage and exchanging gunfire as they negotiate with the suspect who says bombs have been placed all over downtown Dallas. The city's mayor calling the events heartbreaking. This all comes on the heels of incidents in Louisiana and Minnesota where black men were shot and killed by police officers. According to the National Law Enforcement Officer Memorial Fund, this is the deadliest day in law enforcement since the 9/11 attacks. Stephanie Ramos, ABC News, Washington. Back to you.
Well, as you might imagine, officers across the country will be hugged a little tighter by their families as they leave for their shifts today, including police right here in South Bend.
ABC 57's Haley Fixler talked with South Bend police about how difficult this job can be, what they feel right now. Haley, good morning.
Good morning. Well, police tell me that they are constantly thinking about the Dallas community, but they're taking steps and making sure that South Bend police officers remain safe. Now, they're not taking any extra precautions when police officers do go on calls, but they're just reminding them to be extra aware of their surroundings. Veteran officers are paired with rookies to help them understand the situation and mentally prepare for today's activities. But Sergeant Martin Mullins says the dynamic here in South Bend is very different than in other places.
You know, we have a pretty good relationship with the community here in South Bend as a whole compared to some other locations throughout the country. We have a lot of citizens who are very supportive of the officers here and what we do.
Now, just because police do have a good relationship with the community of South Bend does not mean they are not worried, but they're just focusing today on keeping everyone, including police officers, safe. Live in South Bend, Haley Fixler, ABC 57 News.
And we think it's important when national tragedies like this occur that we give you some important perspective. Sometimes the best way to do that is through pictures. These are photos taken by the Dallas Morning News newspaper. The one you're about to see right here shows a DART officer at the hospital in tears for his brothers in blue. We'll, of course, continue to bring you some of these moving pictures throughout the morning.
And all of these stories, plus our breaking news coverage from last night, can be found on abc57.com right now. We'll be updating our website throughout the day with a look at the latest on this. Of course, a lot of people in shock, waking up in shock this morning. Just 2 deadly shootings at the hands of police earlier this week. protests really all over the country, and now this.
It leaves you thinking, what is going to be next?
Absolutely.
So, of course, we're going to be watching to see what is happening, but it sounds like the situation in Dallas now under control with that fourth suspect apparently killed himself. Of course, we'll be watching. The latest we also heard they're taking bomb-sniffing dogs throughout downtown because there were reports there might be bombs. We'll continue to update it.
Yep, throughout the morning. Stay with ABC 57 as we continue to follow this deadly night in Dallas. We're bringing you updates on every zero with the latest information, and every half hour we'll have live reports.
Not much to worry about this morning. We do have temperatures that are very similar to yesterday. No surprises getting out the door. We have fog once again like yesterday morning, so be careful heading out the door. 68 degrees in South Bend, 72 in Rochester, 70 in Warsaw. No rain this morning, rain this afternoon. We're talking about the chance for some storms. A few of those could be on the stronger side. We're looking at a high of 87, so hot and humid one more time. We will time out and track those showers and storms into our area coming up in the full forecast. You can catch that in just a few minutes from now.
And just minutes before shots rang out in Dallas, there was a major rally on Capitol Hill calling for the end of police brutality.
This is video from a march from the White House in our nation's capital to Capitol Hill. Thousands of protesters lined the streets peacefully marching, upset over the deaths of Alton Sterling and Philando Castile. Protesters were surprised when Democratic Congressman John Lewis joined them, also calling for an end to the violence.
Many of us years ago marched. We were beaten. We were jailed. I went to jail 40 times during the 60s, beaten, left bloody and unconscious. But I never gave up. I never gave in. We won't give up. We'll never give in, never give up. But we got to have order. Be peaceful.
Now, there were also peaceful protests in St. Paul, Minnesota and New York City. And as folks were protesting the officer-involved shooting in Baton Rouge, 3 more people were shot there overnight just blocks away from where the death of Alton Sterling occurred. Police do not have any suspects in custody. Coming up at 5:30, hear from Sterling's family about the latest shooting.
It's 5:07. The South Bend Civic Center is working to bring more diversity to the theater company this morning.
Next, a look at how they are trying to make that happen with their new and latest staging.
Plus, tensions continue between Clinton and Trump. A look at how that's affecting the political landscape.